Welcome, this is the Coffee with Jay. I hope you guys are doing great. Please do kindly consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't done so already. I promise you will not regret it. Trouble seems to be looming in the Zulu Kingdom as Queen kaMayisela, the wife of Zulu King Zulu Kingdom, has to the KZN High Court in an urgent bid to halt the king's upcoming wedding with Queen Myeni. Now, in the papers before the court, Queen kaMayisela seeks an order which will stop the king's proposed wedding ceremony to Queen Myeni on the 24th and 26th of this month. Queen Ntokozo states in the papers that she is currently married to the king, a civil marriage in community of property, and adds that the king cannot enter into a civil marriage or customary marriage while the pair's civil marriage still exists. Now let's have a look at the papers. She says, I submit that I'm currently married to the respondent under civil marriage and our marriage is in community of property. I confirm that my husband has approached another woman and proposed marriage, which the said woman has accepted. I further confirm that my husband has begun making arrangements to marry the said woman and has even set a date for the said wedding, ceremony, or marriage. Please see on the invitation letter referring to the said marriage marked annexure what. I humbly submit that the respondent herein cannot enter into a civil marriage and a customary marriage whilst our civil marriage still exists. Guys, please do forgive me for skipping the legal nitty-gritties because I don't think they are relevant at this point. Anyway, what sort of relief is she seeking? She is seeking that the applicant must have a legal right. I have a right as a wife in a civil marriage with the respondent. There must be a well-grounded apprehension of irreparable harm to the applicant should the interdict not be granted. There will be irreparable harm if this interdict is not granted, in that it will bring my family into turmoil and chaos. The balance of convenience must favor the applicant. The balance of convenience favors me in that I'm a spouse in a valid civil marriage. There must be adequate alternative remedy for the applicant. There is no other alternative to stop the respondent to commit this bigamous act than to approach this court urgently. As please do also note that they tried to have a family meeting within the kingdom to try and discuss this matter so that the queen could be heard, so that her cries could be heard, but the meeting was not successful. It was not held, and that's why she had to quickly go and file a court interdict, and that is where we are today. We probably wouldn't have known about this if it had just been kept in the family and if the meeting had been held and maybe the king had paid an ear to the queen, but he did not care to, so she quickly went to the court to try and get a legal way to stop this wedding. Now please also do note that this Myeni is the lady with the 3 children. So she already has 3 children, and we did hear that the king has filed for divorce from one of his wives. Now, could it be Queen Ntokozo kaMayisela whom he is divorcing? Let's read more and find out. KaMayisela says, I confirm that a meeting had been set up to discuss the said marriage that my husband wishes to enter into. However, that meeting has now been postponed to a date in February, which will be after the marriage has taken place. I humbly submit that the respondent will suffer no prejudice if this order is granted, as he still can take a second wife once the law allows. I confirm also that the respondent has served me with divorce papers which were lodged in the honorable court. There you have it, folks. We have actually found out that it is indeed Ntokozo kaMayisela that the king is divorcing. The respondent wishes to get married whilst our marriage still subsists with a pending divorce. So it is in Queen Ntokozo that the king is divorcing. Very sad indeed, and the Zulu nation is very disappointed because he is the first king to do this. Tige Asazi, maybe the heart does want what it wants and the king wants his Queen Nomzamo. Anyway, we'll have to wait to see if the court interdict is granted and the wedding will be stopped. This is the end of this video. Thank you for watching.